welcome to this edition of Under the Umbrella. And on this show, we talk about all different kinds of topics that are related to the weather. So since we're coming up on the Christmas season here, lots of packages going out the door, we are actually going to talk to a representative from the United States Postal Service. And today we are speaking to Naddia Dhalai. She is the Strategic Communication Specialist for USPS. Hello and welcome.
Hello, thank you. Thanks, Melissa, for having me.
And you even made a big drive to get down here. You came from Cleveland, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk first about how many mail carriers are there in the Buckeye State?
So in Ohio, we have about 10,800 mail carriers, and that's city carriers and rural carriers.
And how many of them walk versus how many of them drive?
So a little over 4,000 walk. Majority of them do drive, but there are some carriers who do both driving and walking on their routes.
Wow.
Thanks.
So as we're going into the holiday season here, of course, this must be one of the busiest times of the year for you. Are you still hiring? Is there enough carriers to get all those packages delivered?
Yeah, so we're definitely well staffed. We've been hiring all year, and they've been already trained, so they're ready to go for the holiday season. But we're always hiring at the post office. You know, people might transfer or they retire or get promoted, but so there's always available positions. But we definitely have enough staffing for the holiday season.
That's good to hear. If somebody's interested in a postal career, where do they go to even look for a job?
So they would go to USPS.com/careers, and they could search the type of job or the state they want to be in. So they'll find any available job openings. And they should, check frequently because it changes. So maybe a few weeks, and they can check it again if they didn't see anything they like.
Okay. So what are some of the different challenges that carriers face when dealing with the weather?
So there are different types of challenges. Like, we're going into the winter weather now, and I think one of the biggest challenges is probably driving in the snow. If there's any ice, that can be very difficult. But the summer also brings its own challenges. Just working in the heat can be hard. But yeah, there's dogs. Like, there's just different things that not even weather related, but just being out there, 6-8 hours a day. They just face different things. So they're definitely trained. They go through an extensive training when they first get hired on how to drive safely, deliver safely, and how to watch out for things.
Do you know how many miles an average carrier that walks?
I don't know the average miles, but they some of them definitely walk over 10.
Wow.
But I will say that the longest route in Ohio is 111 miles round trip.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's in Cadiz, Ohio. So there's some carriers who drive very long to deliver.
Yeah, that's got to be obviously a driving, but that's a lot of miles every single day.
Definitely.
So is there a ranking amongst the carriers of what they think is the worst weather, or is that kind of individualized per person? Like, some folks like the winter, some folks like the summer. What do you think is the ranking there?
So I actually spoke with a few carriers to ask them, and I was surprised. Some of them prefer the winter. They said they just can't handle the summer heat. It's really difficult to be out in the sun all day. But one carrier was explaining to me, she's like, I just bundle up, wear extra clothing, and I warm up as I walk, and I'm fine. But some don't like for driving too. They said driving is difficult in the winter. So some do prefer the summer and other seasons, but it's just personal preference really of what they prefer.
And like you said, it might vary if you are a walker versus a driver. So I could definitely see where that's almost a flip, where the walkers may prefer winter over because of the heat in the summer, and then the drivers may prefer summer because they're not dealing with the ice and the snow.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so going into the holiday season, how do the letter carriers prepare for handling the snow, the wind, the ice, the cold?
So we do have safety stand-up talks every day. We talk about what to expect in the changes. So, for example, wear extra clothing. If it's heavier snow, maybe there's ice out, they wear the not the cleats, but the ice, what they put on their shoes so they prevent slip and falls. But
right there. Is that
yes,
it? Yes,
exactly. Yeah.
Those little gadgets. That's really ingenious, actually.
Yeah, it definitely helps with walking, especially if there's any patches of ice that they don't see. And then just preparing before they go out to deliver, check their windshield wipers, make sure they work, their tires, their lights, So we do go through daily stand-up talks to make sure they know what to expect when they're out there.
Okay. Any other special gear that they might need?
Um,
Like rain gear,
yeah, so they do have raincoats during those seasons, so they're water-resistant coats. The shoes that you just saw them wearing, those are slip-resistant. So just extra gloves, hats, just to protecting their ears, and they can wear. Some of them do like to wear masks, so just to protect their nose.
What about the actual bags that the walkers are carrying? Do they change bags like when it's raining out versus other days? Is it or is the bag already waterproof?
That's a good question. I'm not sure if those bags are water resistant or if they change them, but I'm assuming they're like year round, like the durability of them.
Yeah, it just kind of came to me. That's why I was asking.
That's a good question.
And are any of the walkers in particular, are they trained every year? I would think maybe for different signs of like hypothermia, what's frostbite, or other health related symptoms, like due to the cold, for example.
Yeah, so in those talks that the managers and supervisors have with them, so recognizing the signs of any frostbite or hypothermia, if they do need to take a break, they should do that, get to a warm place. Wearing extra gloves, and certainly if they think something isn't right, to seek medical attention or let their managers or supervisors know. Our priority is making sure that our carriers are safe, so we don't want to put them in any danger if that's the case.
Does it ever get too cold, for example, for letter carriers to go out?
Yeah, so if it's dangerously cold, and there's alerts from we see on the news, and if the city even warns people to not go out, then yeah, certainly we'll pause that day until it's safe to do so. We don't want our carriers to be in a situation where they're at risk. So if there's a blizzard, if roads are snowed in and they can't drive, then yeah, they won't go out. So we'll reattempt the next day.
Yeah, because a lot of times, like the wind chill in particular, can get really nasty for some folks, and it's dangerous for them to be out there, and it's like you don't want to put them out there at that risk.
No.
So, what can homeowners do to help their carriers during the winter season?
So what we ask customers to do is if they can clear the path. So sometimes during the snow season, when the plows come in, it will plow snow over their mailbox. So checking that, clearing the snow if there's any buildup on there, so that carrier can access it. If they have to walk up to a porch, making sure the path is clear and it's shoveled. If there's any ice, maybe sprinkle some salt on there. Making sure to clear if there's any steps to go up to the mailbox, we'd appreciate that. So just clearing the path so they can come in and out safely. And also during the winter season, there's less daylight hours. So if they could leave their porch light on. So sometimes you'll see carriers, then they're working overtime.
Yep.
So to leave it on, they'll probably see them early morning or late in the evening. So we just ask them to just have a path clear and keep the lights on.
The ones that are where they're driving and they're going up to the mailboxes, like you mentioned, like the snow plows will a lot of times like they knock over the unintentionally,
Yes, of course.
but they knock over the mailboxes, or like you said, they like get filled up and then the snow gets really high. Should you try to dig out your mailbox, and what do you do if your mailbox gets knocked over?
So if the mailbox is damaged or it's knocked over, we won't be able to deliver. So you just will have to see if you can fix that. But we will have the mail at the post office for pickup. So we will let the customer know, hey, we can't deliver. We have to deliver into a mailbox. So if there isn't one available, we'll have to hold the mail until it's fixed.
Yeah. Okay. So definitely something to keep in mind there. And can they also, like, if you're a walker, for example, and say your sidewalk is completely iced over, going up the steps, it looks too slippery, does the letter carrier have the flexibility to skip an address?
Yes, if they don't feel like it's safe to deliver and there's a risk for a fall or injury, absolutely they could skip that address, and then we'll reattempt to deliver the next day. But carriers do want to deliver your mail every day. But if there's a risk for safety, yeah, they're not going to take that chance. So we just ask customers to please, and to make their job easier, to please clear the path so they can deliver the mail safely.
Yeah, that's really kind of tough. When you have a combination of the busy holiday season coming up here, and then potentially some major winter storms and just major weather in the winter in particular, how do you prepare for potential disruptions in service and getting the mail out?
Yeah, so we do have a national preparedness team that sends us daily weather updates. So if there is anything coming up, managers know what to do and where to shift and make changes where necessary. So, and also it just depends on the roads. Like if there's anything blocked, any roadways shut down for whatever reason, we try to find another way. But if there isn't, we'll just reattempt delivering the next day.
Okay, and is there a difference in service during inclement weather for folks that live in rural areas versus somebody that lives in a city or, a more metro area?
Yeah, so I think there's more, I guess, more plows and the roads are clearer in more metro city areas. Sometimes rural areas, there's long, windy, icy roads, so that can be a little more challenging for carriers. And also, they tend to be a higher speed limit. So if you could just be paid, because the carrier has to drive slow. If the roads aren't safe, they're going to slow down. So if people can just be a little more patient as our carriers are delivering the mail, but it can be if they're driving more.
Yeah, and I could see where the roads get icy and stuff, and they, have more potential to slide off to the side of the road because a lot of the mailboxes are on the side of the road in the rural areas, so they probably have to really slow down quite a bit, I would think.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will continue our conversation on Under the Umbrella. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Under the Umbrella. Today, on today's episode, we are talking about anything and everything that you basically need to know about holiday delivery from the United States Postal Service. And of course, this is a busy time of the year, so we're taking a deep dive into this conversation today. And since we're going right now, we're right at the holiday season, we are joined again by Naddia Dhalai, who is the Strategic Communications Specialist for the United States Postal Service. So sometimes the delivery for packages may have nothing to do with our weather, but it may have to do with another storm system somewhere else in the nation. Can you explain to folks like how that kind of comes into play when folks are waiting for their package, but say there's a storm somewhere else and you can't get it to here in time?
Yeah, so certainly there's other major weather things that can happen in other parts, like hurricanes or wildfires or earthquakes. We try our best to process the mail and deliver as long as it's safely to do, and we'll get it out to the other part of the country. But whenever there is a major weather problem happening and there's no way to deliver it, we will, for example, in 2019 there was a major tornado in Dayton, and it destroyed homes and mailboxes. What we did was we set up a mobile post office, so where customers can pick up their mail, they can mail things, buy stamps. We try as long as the roads are accessible and there's a mailbox there, we'll try to deliver. But sometimes people leave and they're not even the homes aren't livable anymore. So we'll ask they can put in a mail forwarding system, mail forwarding request. Or they can even put their mail on hold at a local post office.
Wow, that's pretty interesting that you set up a mobile. That must be pretty common in areas that flood and anywhere, like you said, like a tornado damage. Does that even happen during winter storms? Like if folks lose power for periods of time and they can't, they have to dig out, for example.
It's usually only in extreme weather damage. If the homes and communities are damaged, we try to set up an alternate site to get them some sort of service, or they can able to pick up their mail. But if it's just temporary, we try to resume operations as soon as we get power back on.
So with the holiday season here knocking on our door, can you tell us the key dates here that folks need to know for holiday delivery?
Yeah, so for our Ground Advantage and First Class, the deadline is December 17th. For Priority Mail Service, that will be December 18th. And then for Priority Mail Express, which is our overnight service, is December 20th.
Okay, so all those dates are coming up very quickly. What about letters to Santa?
Yes, so we do have a wonderful program. It's called USPS Operation Santa, and it's in its 113th year. And it's a great program for kids to write letters to Santa, and it gives an opportunity for any member of the community to be able to adopt a letter and be an elf during the season and being one of Santa's helpers. So how it works is a child will write a letter to Santa, and they'll address it and send it, and then it gets any personal information gets redacted. So this program is completely anonymous for the sender and receiver. So it gets uploaded onto USPSOperationSanta.com, and you can go through and browse through the letters and read. And then once you adopt one, you go on the shopping, you get what they've requested, and then you package it. And yeah, so you have it all packaged up, and then with the letter comes a QR code. So you take that to a post office, and the clerk will scan it and put the postage on there with the address. The customer doesn't see the address, so they don't know where it's going. And also the receiver doesn't know where it came from. So it's completely anonymous, but it's a great way to just help out different kids who are asking for things. A lot of times they're asking for sweaters or socks or jackets for the winter. And there's some really cute ones that just want to know what it's like in the North Pole. So it's really fun to do. You can adopt a family if you'd like. And a lot of times we see companies kind of get together and do it, adopt a family or do it as a project. But it's a great way to give back to the community during the holidays.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that this was like a giving back opportunity. It's not just about just writing a letter to Santa. This is actually a program.
Yeah.
Okay. How many letters do you guys get a year, do you think?
I don't know the exact number. I know it's in the thousands, but there's just so many. I'm so impressed with so many generous people who adopt the letters and send out gifts to these kids. I think it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Is there an age limit?
No age limit. You even see sometimes like a parent will write for like a 1 or 2 year old, or be like, oh yeah, I'm too young to write, so my mom's writing for me. It's really cute. So yeah, definitely anybody can write a letter to Santa if they want.
Oh, these are great. So you can adopt. Oh, I love this idea.
Yeah,
I really do. Have you read any like over the years that you've worked there? Did any stand out to you?
There was one where a little kid was saying, hey, Santa, I just want to know what it's like in the North Pole, and I really, really want to visit. I really like my sister to come, but, if you don't have room for her, don't worry about her. He was like, I'll come. So I thought that was really cute, and he just wanted to know what it's like, and those are, like, so cute, like, just the curiosity of children.
Yeah, the curiosity and just the magic of the season.
Yeah.
That's really fun. And for kids that are going to write a letter, where can they drop them off?
So they can drop them off at their local post office, any of the blue boxes, or they can even give it to their carrier.
Okay. And how should they address it?
So they write it to Santa Claus, 123 Elf Road, North Pole, 88888. But if they forget the address, just simply put Santa Claus, North Pole, and we'll know where to take it.
Well, this is a good opportunity for kids to learn how to write a letter, because so many kids don't learn how to write letters or do some of the basics anymore. So this is more than just an email.
Yes. Yes, it is. It is definitely fun to, and visit the post office if you can and drop off the letter. So it's a great program.
Okay, so what else should folks know coming into the holiday season? Like, I'm sure you've got a bucket list of things of like, oh, I wish people realized that they should know this or that, or you wish people would address their packages themselves, even the adults, a certain way. Anything that any tips that you could give folks, that would be helpful.
Yeah, so, we ask customers to drop off their packages as soon as they can, not to wait until last minute if they don't have to. If they can. But if they can't make it to a post office, they have other options. They can go after hours and drop it off at a kiosk. They can also do click and ship, where they print the postage online and your carrier will pick it up. We do have extended hours at certain post offices, so they can check online on which post offices have extended hours. But also, I think the most important thing is making sure you have the correct zip code on there. Double check with the people you're sending gifts to if they've moved, just updating their address, because sometimes people don't check, or they don't know, or they forgot that somebody moved. So just checking in and saying, hey, do you still live at this address, to make sure everything's correct, and that way it gets delivered on time.
What about what people are putting in the packages? Are there things that folks shouldn't be shipping, for example? And also, a lot of folks probably ship food items. Any tips for that? Like if they're shipping cookies, for example?
Yeah, so there you can ship cookies, but just maybe put on a note that it's perishable, and probably send it in through like a quicker service, like maybe Priority Mail or Priority Mail Express. But there is a weight limit of 70 pounds. There's certain liquids they can check on our website that they can't ship. But yeah, so just making sure to get it there in time. If there's something fragile, just make sure you have extra wrapping on there, so bubble wrap to protect it. Those are some. And then we offer free flat rate priority boxes. If they need boxes, those are free at the post offices. You can even order them to your home. Those are free as well. So.
And what about stamps?
Stamps, we have a bunch of different holiday stamps. Yeah, we always come out with new holiday stamps. So there's a lot of options. You can order online, or you can go into your local post office. You can also ask your carrier. You can order them through carrier if you need stamps and you don't want to go to the post office. So that's an option as well.
Okay. And what about insurance? Like, someone that maybe made that handmade gift, or they got that gift that, that they can't replace. Should folks get insurance for their gifts as they send them out?
Yeah. So we do offer different services at an extra charge. So that, they can get insurance, or they get a signature service so that the person can sign for it. Priority comes with some insurance, but if they want anything additional insurance, if they're sending something valuable, they can certainly do that. That's an option.
Yeah, that's always really important, especially if you're waiting for something, in particular, and then all of a sudden, oops, it doesn't show up. You also deliver on Christmas Day too?
Yes.
Is that right?
We deliver Priority Mail Express, so it's overnight. So yeah, we do deliver that.
For those people that hold out to the very last second.
Yes. So we do have that, and that's also delivered on Sunday as well as our Priority Mail Express. So
okay.
Yeah,
lots of different services, lots of different things that folks can look at for their shipping options, and of course, send it out as early as possible, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Anything else that you can think of that folks may need to know?
No, just again, we touched on it earlier about keeping the paths clear for their carriers, and just knowing that they want to deliver your mail as long as it's safe. So we appreciate the customers looking out for the carriers.
And I would think, like, for some elderly folks, that might actually be an issue for them to try to get their sidewalks cleared.
Yes, if they have somebody who can help them, sure. I mean, a neighbor or somebody who can help, like as they're clearing their driveways or sidewalks, maybe they can do that for them as well.
Well, hopefully we won't have too many snowstorms that affect areas of Ohio this year, where the carriers have to trudge through all that snow, and not too many cold Arctic outbreaks. Last year was really pretty rough. In January and February, it got so cold outside that hopefully that won't happen again this year.
So, yeah.
Want to keep everybody safe. Well, thank you very much, Naddia, for joining me today on Under the Umbrella. And thank you for taking the time to join us as well. We hope that you get your packages out early this holiday season, and we look forward to having you watch again on another edition of Under the Umbrella. You can always email me at undertheumbrella@wdtn.com if you have any more information. Have a great night.